Molly, and good evening, everyone, and we appreciate everybody listening in tonight to hear about the first of many changes that are headed our way. We hate to think about our short summers ending, but we're getting close to the end of the summer, and so change is coming. The leaves are about to start turning, and so is the ERC locally here in eastern Idaho, as well as elsewhere. So please go ahead and open up the slides. They're on ercconnect.org, and let's go to slide number 2. So let's start with some of the first changes. So what changes are we talking about? So the first, which we've mentioned in the past, but now it's time. So the ERC program is no longer under the Bishop Storehouse model. So for many years now, decades actually, things have operated under the Bishop Storehouses, and then under the regional welfare committees that were overseen by some of the storehouse services. And so now things are different, and so it's moving under coordinating councils and away from our regions. So not only do we not going to reference the Bishop Storehouse as it's kind of been referred to as an organization for a long time. It really hasn't been, but it's kind of been like that. But it's really a building, and in that building here in Idaho Falls, we do have ERC resources. We have radio equipment and things, but it's a building, and it's not associated directly with the ERC program any longer. The next is the ERC program is no longer divided into what we've been calling regions. The region concept dates back to the welfare regions, where we had welfare committees, which were basically groups of stakes, where you had one of the stake presidents act as the welfare committee chairman, and that's actually been gone for a long time now. But the official direction has now come for us to switch away from this, and so we will no longer be divided into what we have called regions in the past. So regions, as we've been used to calling them, are no longer. You may still hear the term region that is referring to a multi-coordinating council, but we're not going to get into that tonight. The main thing to know is that the concept of regions, as we have used them with the ERC here locally, is changing. Let's go to slide number 3. So on slide number 3, so what do these changes that I've listed so far mean? Well, the 3 coordinating councils in eastern Idaho will continue to work together as a multi-coordinating council. I say continue because in the past we've had 4 regions: the Idaho Falls North region, the Idaho Falls South region, the Rexburg region, and the Rigby regions work together under the Storehouse model. Now, all of those quote-unquote regions are now part of the coordinating councils, and those coordinating councils will still work together because it's more efficient in many ways. And so even though we still have the individual regions that we're going to discuss here in just a moment, that the 3 local coordinating councils work together as a multi-coordinating council on things like training and some of the larger exercises and some other activities that are coming. The next thing is the ERC leadership changes for eastern Idaho. That's the next thing we'll talk about. And one of the important things we're talking about tonight, to make everyone aware of changes that will be impacting our weekly regional nets, as these nets will be converted to coordinating council nets. Let's go to slide number 4. So first, let's make sure that everyone's clear, because not everybody looks at the hierarchy that we fall under. Everybody's familiar with wards and stakes, but they may not be familiar that stakes are organized underneath coordinating councils, and coordinating councils are organized underneath areas. So there are these 4 basic levels: areas, coordinating councils, stakes, and wards. So let's take a little bit closer look at the areas. Let's go to the next slide. So this slide is a map of North America showing the 7 areas in North America. At the top are our neighbors in Canada, and we, if you look, see in eastern Idaho, fall in the central area, the big red area there, which we, by my count, I think we may touch the most states of the other areas. It's a very large geographic area. The other area that covers a lot of area is the southwest that encompasses Nevada and Texas and Arizona, and it's a pretty good-sized area. We have Utah. There's a lot happening in Utah. It looks small, but it's actually huge. And then we have the west area all along the west coast and clear over to the southeast and the northeast areas. So these are the 7 areas in North America. The important thing to take away here is that we are in the central area here in eastern Idaho. Let's go to the next slide. So here, if we look at the United States central area at the top, here locally we have 3 coordinating councils: the Ammon Coordinating Council, the Idaho Falls Coordinating Council, and the Rexburg Coordinating Council. And then each of those coordinating councils has multiple stakes that are organized under those coordinating councils. So, how does this affect me is the next question. Let's go to the next slide. Go ahead, Blake.
Just wanted to point out that there's a blue section on that map that's in Wyoming that is now part of the central area as well.
Things are always changing, so that map is actually just a little bit out of date. So on slide number 7, I think we're at. Yeah, slide number 7. Let's take a look at the Ammon Coordinating Council. So the first thing you'll notice over to the left, we have Holly Stone and Tammy Grimmett, who are leading the efforts in the Coordinating Council, and so we appreciate their willingness to take on this role and to help all of the stakes in that Ammon Coordinating Council, which, if you see on the left side, you see the stake, and the right side is the old region. So you'll notice that we have several stakes that were from the old Idaho Falls North region, and we had 4 stakes at the bottom in green there that were in the Idaho Falls South region. So in other words, the Ammon Coordinating Council is made up of some stakes that were in the North region and some stakes that were in the South region. This means, specifically for the South region stakes, which is the Ammon stake, the Ammon East, the Ammon Foothills, and the Ammon North, those stakes will be changing frequencies for the Wednesday night nets, because they will be joining what was the North region frequency, which we'll talk about the frequencies here in a minute. But the important takeaway here is these are the stakes in the Ammon Coordinating Council. So take a close look and see where your stake falls. Don't worry if you can't find it yet, because we'll give you some easy ways so you can make sure that you understand and know your correct ward stake in the Coordinating Council. Let's go to slide number 8. This is the Idaho Falls Coordinating Council, where we have Lynn Stromberg and Dan Beck, who have accepted the responsibility to help oversee the Idaho Falls Coordinating Council and assist those stakes in the Coordinating Council with emergency communications, emergency response communications. And so here we see 5 stakes that were in the North region and 5 stakes that were in the South region. And so once again, we are dividing the regions up to create the Coordinating Council. So in this case, those stakes that were in the North region, specifically the Idaho Falls stake, Idaho Falls Central, Idaho Falls North, Idaho Falls South, and Idaho Falls West, you will be changing frequencies to a new frequency. So be prepared. Those that were stakes that were in the South region, you'll continue to participate on the same frequency as you have been with the South region, if that makes sense. And we'll give you more details. I think it'll make more sense here in a minute. But this is the Idaho Falls Coordinating Council. Let's go to slide number 9. Here we come to an interesting coordinating council that's a little bit different, and that is actually a very large coordinating council. The Rexburg Coordinating Council consists of what was the Rexburg region and the Rigby regions. And so you can see there's a lot of stakes here. So all of the Rexburg region stakes and all of the Rigby region stakes now combine into one coordinating council. One thing that is different about the Rexburg Coordinating Council is we will still conduct two separate nets. The nets are still part of the Rexburg Coordinating Council, but we will still continue to have a Rexburg net and a Rigby net. And we have Kellen Draney and Richard Casper that are leading the effort there to help the stakes in the Rexburg Coordinating Council. Kellen lives in the Rexburg area, and Richard is more along the lines of the Rigby area. And so these two are going to help us stay on track as far as helping out the stakes that need help and may ask help. They can reach back to their coordinating council. And so these two are helping to lead that effort. Let's go to slide number 10. Let's take a look at the new radio nets. I say new, maybe different is a better term, but they're going to be a little bit new with new names, and there'll be some new formats coming in time. But initially, these are the nets that occur every Wednesday night. So the Ammon Coordinating Council net is on 147.520 at 8:30. The Idaho Falls Coordinating Council will meet on 147.540 at 8:30. And the Rexburg Coordinating Council, as I stated, will have two separate nets. The Rexburg area on 147.5 that starts a little earlier at 8:15 because the number of operators that are checking into that net. And then the Rigby area will meet at the same frequency on 147.560 at 8:30. Let's go to the next net. The next slide. And this is when this net starts. So we have about 4 weeks. And so it's not happening next week or the next week, but the week after. So on September 14th is when you're going to want to be ready to check in to your new coordinating council net. Some of you on new frequencies, some of you on the same frequencies. The good news is, if you should get mixed up or confused on the night of the net, don't worry, because there will be a net on the same frequencies that were the north and south region nets. You just might be checking into the wrong net, but the net control operators will help you find the right frequency for you to check into the appropriate net. So the important thing to remember is we've got time for you to prepare. If you need to program your radio with a new frequency, you've got time to pull out your manual and plug that in. And this information, you can always go back and look at these slides. There will be emails coming out in the coming weeks frequently, so you'll be able to check those emails and check for the net frequencies, and that'll help you make sure that you get to the right net. Okay, let's go to slide number 12. So in addition to the coordinating council leadership, we also have a really, I'll just call them a distinguished set of what we're calling our special team leaders. So in the Eastern Idaho Multi-Coordinating Council, we have these 10 leaders that are leading these special teams, starting with Daniel Owens, who is taking care of the BYU Idaho coordination. BYU Idaho was recently officially named as the backup for church headquarters radio communications. So in the event that there is a major event that is taking down communications in Salt Lake, for example, BYUI will take on that role, and that role is worldwide. So here in our own multi-coordinating council here in Eastern Idaho is the backup managed by Daniel Owens with BYU Idaho that will be helping to organize and manage those backup communications on a worldwide basis. Next, we've got Steve Galbraith, who's leading an amazing digital team who has been hard at work for quite a while now, actually. They are working to evaluate current digital standards, digital technologies, software tools, new technologies, and they will be coming out with some recommendations for some standards that we will look at implementing, starting with our multi-coordinating council here in Eastern Idaho, and then we'll make some recommendations for the central area, United States central area, And then once we get everybody's comments and adjust things as needed, we'll make we'll offer those recommended standards to the rest of the areas in North America. So really good work by the digital team. Next is a very important, something new to the ERC, and that is a greatly expanded emergency response work. So Mark Thompson from the Rigby area is leading this effort. He's off to a fantastic start, and he's been building an emergency response framework for how we can fit in as wards and stakes and coordinating councils and individuals in providing emergency response, emergency communications for emergency response, and it's one of the most important things that we have going, and it's one of the things that you're going to be hearing a lot more as we get into more changes that are coming our way. Next, we have Tammy Grimmett, and she has been called and is supporting the ERC Connect website, leading up our help desk team. And so if you need help with the ERC Connect, with anything, you can send an email to helpdesk@ERC-Connect, and chances are Tammy will be one of the key people that may be responding to help you out. And the next there on the left side is Kevin Mortensen, who has agreed to help us with organizing and managing some ERC exercises as we move forward. And so we may have some exercises and some tests, and so Kevin's going to be helping us out with that.
Break.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is W7HPS, Peter from Rexburg, Idaho. I'm sorry, can I get that email address one more time? Did you say it was helpdesk@ERCconnect? Is that .com or .org?
It is .org, so helpdesk@ERCconnect.org. Those have been around for a while. It was IdahoERC.org, but the new domain names, they both work, but we encourage you to change your favorites and start using the website address of ERCconnect.org and erase out of your minds and off your browsers the IdahoERC.org, because it's shifted from just starting with here at the Eastern Idaho to the rest of the state. Actually started the whole state of Idaho and Montana to begin with, but now it's supporting all of the areas across North America. So it was renamed to ERCconnect.org. Same website, different name, an entirely new look and feel coming in the coming months, and a whole lot of really interesting tools headed your way. So again, any questions, just email ERCconnect or helpdesk@ERCconnect.org. If you don't know your username and password, when you go to the website, you can click on Forgot Username. Then once you have your username, you can use that to log in. If you're not sure your password, you can click on Forgot Password, and it'll allow you to help yourself get into the system if you forgot your username and password. If you don't receive an email when you click on those links, then go ahead and send an email to helpdesk@ERCconnect. Check your spam filter first, and then we'll go in there and see if we have something that's off with your email address or something. Okay, look on the right side of the special team leaders. We've got David Gilmore, who has single-handedly increased the number of mesh core devices worldwide by a factor of 5. At least that's what it seems like. He has done a fantastic job. He's a huge resource that we have, and he's right here in Eastern Idaho. He's helping people all over the country and actually in other countries as well. It's pretty fascinating, and it's a really cool technology, and so we have a lot of great things planned in Eastern Idaho that will kind of take some of the things that we started and add some more. So as soon as we get closer to getting those implemented, then we'll make some additional announcements about some new things that we have to support the the mesh core. And next we have Bill Jensen, who is not just our net manager helping out the coordinating councils here in Eastern Idaho, but he's also the central area net manager helping to keep the ERC radio nets in the central area as well as here in eastern Idaho on track. And so all the other net managers for the individual nets will probably be hearing from Bill at one time or another as he helps to keep us all on track. This is NF7J. And next we've got a technology that we've actually tested out. I think the first time was about a year ago, I guess, and that is Starlink. So we have Dan Beck, who's a resident Starlink expert. He's also wearing dual hats, as you see that he's also one of the leaders there for the Idaho Falls Coordinating Council. So we will be starting some Starlink nets for those locally that have Starlink access with the ability to run it on emergency power. We will be having some at least a Starlink net to start with, and there'll probably be a couple of Starlink nets starting up and kind of expanding in scope a little bit. So Starlink is another one of our tools in our tool belt, like MeshCore and GMRS and Amateur, all tools in our tool belts. And the last but not least are our training positions with Marilyn Burns and Charles Taylor. These guys and gal all have a lot of experience with the training, and they're going to help us with some new and exciting things that we're looking at as we continue on our path. It's going to involve a lot of changes, but one of those changes that we have coming our way is dealing with training. And so if you see any of these team leaders, please let them know that you're grateful for their service, and look for more exciting things from all of these individuals as we start building out things as we go forward. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's go to slide number 13. So if you are wondering, okay, wait a minute, what coordinating council am I in? Here's an easy way to check. Log into ercconnect.org and look where the red circle is over to the far right, down at the bottom. It says My Organization. It looks really small, so I blew it up for you in the big square. And so in that little box, it shows you specifically, or whoever you logged in as, what your area is, your coordinating council, your stake, and your ward. So that's an easy way to check exactly what your area, coordinating council, stake, and ward is. If you forget or you get confused, now you can go look that up right there on the homepage of ERC Connect. This is going to change over the coming months. What you see is the what we call our legacy interface for the ERC Connect website. It's going to change dramatically in the coming months. So we will still provide a way for you to look up your ward, stake, and coordinating council. Might be in a different place and look a lot different, but it'll still be available for you. Let's go to slide number 14. Okay, here's all the coordinating councils in one spot. So again, you can come back and look yourself up. These are all in alphabetical order, starting with the Ammon Coordinating Council, Idaho Falls Coordinating Council in the middle, and the Rexburg Coordinating Council on the right. So there's all the stakes. Now you can kind of see all together how the Rexburg Coordinating Council is large, and who knows, maybe someday that'll split and there'll be two coordinating councils there instead of one. I'm not predicting anything. I'm just observing that it's a large coordinating council. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Slide number 15.
Craig?
Go ahead.
Just wanted to, within the Ammon Coordinating Council, we have the Centennial Ranch stake that has just been made. So those of you that are in Centennial Ranch, you're in the Ammon Coordinating Council, KC7IHV.
Oh, thank you, Steve. I forgot to update these from a while back when these were created. So we will add Centennial Ranch. So don't worry, Centennial Ranch, we haven't forgotten you. We just forgot about you. I guess we did forget about you. But again, if you log into the website, you can double check and see exactly where you're at also. And we'll also update the slides here. By tomorrow sometime, those will be updated to include the Centennial Ranch. So on slide 15, notice that we are going to work on putting the R in ERC, Emergency Response Communications. So right from the beginning, this program is designed to provide emergency response communications, not just emergency communications. What does that mean? It means that we are preparing for actual emergencies and preparing and ramping up our abilities and our training and helping everyone that wants to be involved with this great work to be better prepared to actually provide emergency response services to our leaders, to our communities, and to those that need help. So this program has the ability to provide a lot of important service and work. And we've had some wake-up calls this summer with all these fires, and we've activated the ERC on numerous occasions, and but we're preparing for situations like this and even more challenging situations in the future. So let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's go to slide number 16. So what are the next steps? So here's my recommendation. Wherever you are in your preparedness journey, get ready now. In other words, don't wait until you have everything in order that you want. The perfect radio, the perfect backpack for your Go Kit, a case for your Go Kit, or whatever your preparedness items are that you've been waiting to finalize. Or maybe you've got that backpack that's empty that you were going to build a 72-hour kit with. I encourage you to not wait. Get those things ready now and start wherever you are at. You might not have everything that you want, material-wise or equipment-wise, but don't wait. Take what you have and get it ready to go. The reason, we never know when we're going to need these things, and it's going to come whether we're ready or not. So let's get ready the best we can. So don't wait. Get ready now. Next, some advice for wards and stakes. If you're not a stake ECS, then help your stake ECS or your ward ECS to organize nets and meetings. So if you're not currently holding a net, a radio net, mesh core net, whatever nets your ward or stake has decided to utilize, make sure you're holding those nets regularly. If you're not, or if they've kind of fallen off, now's the time to get them reorganized. And so work with your leadership in your wards and stakes. And also, we encourage you to have regular meetings. If it's been a while, if you're stake ECS, if you're ward ECS, we encourage you to round everybody up and sit down in an in-person meeting and kind of talk about where you're at and figure out what you need to do to kind of help everyone become a little bit better prepared. Again, we want to get ready for where we're at now, so pull everybody together, and we encourage you to do this following direction from your stake and ward leadership. So stake ECSs, ward ECSs, make sure to meet with your leadership for direction and follow whatever guidance they instruct you to. And families, same advice. Get ready now. Don't procrastinate. If you've got 72-hour kits or other preparedness things that you've been going to get around to, now's a great time to get all those things taken care of. So don't wait. We encourage you to truly get things ready. Let's go to the last slide now. I'm going to pause and see what kind of questions we have. So if you have a question or comment, please come now with your call sign.
KJ7MED.
MED, go ahead.
Yes, this is KJ7MED, Kim from the Blackfoot Coordinating Council. I just wanted to point out that in eastern Idaho we do have 4 coordinating councils, and it would be nice if we could address that 4th coordinating council, unless you want to consider us an ugly stepchild.
We'll go with, so the guidance we've read so far is that these 3 are to work together as a multi. I know Blackfoot was a consideration, but we'll see where it goes. But some are coordinating councils that are by themselves, and others might be working with others. It just depends. So you haven't been forgotten. It's just, and things will likely continue to change as we go. So we haven't forgot about you, Blackfoot.
Kilo Mike, 7 Echo Yankee Delta.
Echo Yankee Delta, go ahead.
I didn't see any training mentioned at what time and days on the presentation.
As far as the radio nets, there's a slide that lists the radio nets. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, I was referring specifically to training. Maybe I missed it.
So we have trainings that we haven't announced yet. So one of those trainings that we have is that's coming up in October. We had to make a change on the building, so we have to lock that in before we can announce the date. But there will be a special training for stake and ward emergency communication specialists. So stake and ward ECSs watch your inbox and for announcements for that training. And then the other trainings, just stand by, watch your email, and listen by the nets. And as those new trainings come out, then those will be announced. So we're kind of taking things a step at a time. Right now, we want to get the new coordinating council nets stood up, and the new coordinating council leadership in place, and also get our special teams going, and then we're going to see even more changes coming as we really do work to put the R and ERC. So more training and more activities and more exercises and so forth coming. So those will all be announced as we go. So no specific training right now, but the next, other than the honor trainings that we have, which are going to change a little bit as we go forward. But right now, just listen to the nets and watch your email, and then Stake and Ward ECSs, watch your inbox for announcements on the Stake and Ward ECS training that's coming up in October. Any more questions or comments?
KD7NGH.
NGH, go ahead.
I'm from the Rexburg Council. We're just in a brand new stake, and I was wondering if you heard anything about the church allowing wards to help finance or purchase some of these radios for block leaders to use. Over.
Yeah, the direction is that it's recommended that no, they all be individually purchased. So that's the guidance that's been given. Any other comments or questions?
Kevin, this is KE7SXZ.
SXZ, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a good possibility that the St. Anthony stake is going to be split in 2 weeks, so we'll keep you informed of the new stake.
Thank you. Yeah, it might take a few weeks after the split. If that happens, we do receive some automated updates for all the organization data, and so it might take a few weeks before things show up on ERC Connect, but they will show up. But thank you. Appreciate that info. Anybody else with any comments or questions?
KI5TLZ.
TLZ, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Joseph, KI5TLZ, with one of the BYU YSA stakes. Are we still, should we still be working with the Rexburg region, or, because we weren't involved in any of those slides?
That's true. Steve, I think that was the plan, is that correct?
Yeah, this is KC7IHB. We're going to be working that with the Welfare and Self-Reliance managers to how they want to do that. In the past, they've more or less, it's been a hands-off unless somebody wants to volunteer and be part of us. But I think some of that's going to change. I've just got to dig into it a little bit more and push people a little bit, see what we can come up with. And also going back to the Blackfoot Coordinating Council, there's many of them that are interested in being part of the multi-coordinating council that we have up here. But I haven't heard anything official from Blackfoot yet. And if they do, then combining Blackfoot with this, at least on a part-time basis or whatever, I think that should be a welcome thing. KC7IHV.
Thank you, Steve. Anybody else? Comments or questions, please come down. Okay, stay tuned. This is the first of much more to come. So the main thing is make sure that you understand your which coordinating council you're in and your net, your new net, if you've got a new net frequency, and if you need, program your radios and then be prepared for what's coming. So we've got a few more weeks still as regional nets, and then everything will transfer over to the coordinating council nets, and then let the fun begin. All kinds of fun stuff that's coming. So instead of overwhelming you all at one time, we're going to take these first steps and then do some training here with the awards and stakes, and then we're going to continue on with some more great things to help us to become better prepared for emergency response. So thank you, everyone. This is NF7J, back to net control.
This is KF7BRO, NF7J. Kevin, thank you for the training tonight. Exciting things are happening, and I believe that date is September 16. Double check your calendar. Let us know for that.
NF7J.
NF7J.
Thank you, Holly. Even after reviewing the slides 5 times, the most important thing tonight was wrong. And so, yeah, the date that we start is on a Wednesday, so that would be September 16th, not the 14th as I had on the slide. So I'll be updating the slides with any missing stakes and that date. Those will all be updated by tomorrow. So apologize for the mistakes. So September 16th is the date when the new nets start. NF7J.